I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, but this is going to be my breastfeeding journey video. So I'm just going to kind of tell you things I liked, things I didn't like, and just a little bit about breastfeeding. So Carter was excellent, like when it came to breastfeeding. He latched on properly at the hospital. I had like nipple um, soreness in my nipples. And one of my nipples he wouldn't latch on, so when we were in hospital, she gave me a breast shield. But I only had to use it once, and then he latched perfectly. So we've been breastfeeding. He is 7 weeks now. So for 7 weeks, he was exclusively breastfed for I want to say 5 weeks. He was exclusively breastfed, so he didn't have any bottles, any express milk, just breast, just me. So that was great. So I started pumping because he's going to be going back to, well, I'm going to be going back to work and he'll be in daycare. So he starts daycare on May 9th. That's when I go back to work. So I'm really sad about that. But I've been pumping and expressing milk so that he'll have milk. So I got a few different breast pump materials. I'll show you guys. Right now what I have is the Me Pump. So this is the bag that the Me Pump comes in. And the Me Pump has soft silicone breast shields for you to pump with. And this is kind of what it looks like. I do not like this breast pump. It's horrible. This being soft really hurt when it grabbed into my breast and it pinched me. And the suction wasn't like great. The only thing I did like is this little handle that it has right here. And you can just hold the handle while you're pumping. That's the only upside I think about this. And that it was really lightweight because everything fits in this bag, the pump, everything. So the Me Pump didn't work for me, but I think other people liked it. So I have this Medela pump right here. That's my pump. And this has been great. And this is the little thing. Now these are hard on the Medela pump, which is so much better because it doesn't suction your breast as tight and it doesn't hurt. So the Medela pump works wonders. Usually every time I pump I'm getting 6 to 7 ounces. And if I'm like a little engorged, I'll get like 10 ounces of milk. So I'm getting lots of milk. I really haven't had any problems with my milk supply. I do hate that, I think it's this breast, gets bigger than this breast all the time. So this one always has more milk, always producing more. So I'm pumping this breast more frequently, which is making it produce more frequently, which is terrible. So this breast is like always engorged, which hurts and it really sucks. So that's not cool. I also use breast pads. I use the cloth ones sometimes. During the day I like the cloth ones because the disposable ones, they move around a lot and they're like really crunchy and they don't look good in your shirt. So during the day I use the cloth ones, which I like. I don't leak a lot, so the cloth ones work. And then at night I use the disposable ones because that's usually when my supply is like really full because he's been sleeping through the night lately. So when I wake up in the morning I have like huge breasts, but the disposable ones work great. I don't have them to show you because I used them all. But I had Medela ones and I had some by Playtex. And the Playtex ones were really thick, which was good at night, and the Medela ones were really thin, which were good for the day. But I didn't like the Medela ones because they ripped easily, and when they absorb the milk, I guess the crystals that are in there, it kind of got hard on your breast. So once it got so full, you had to change it like immediately. You couldn't like keep it on for a couple hours or anything. You had to change it as soon as it got full. So I didn't like that about the Medela ones, but I did like the Playtex ones. They are really thick, so I wouldn't wear them during the day and they don't look good in your clothes. But at nighttime, I think they work wonders. So I pretty much like those 3 breast pads just as far as absorbing the milk. I started with these first year's bags, which are like really plasticky feeling compared to the Lantinone. These are like really soft and luscious. I don't know. But they're really soft, so they're not like plastically, like you can barely hear this. And this one is like you can hear it all crinkly. You can put more milk in this bag though. I know they both go to 6 ounces, but this one can actually hold more than 6 ounces. And that's what I've been doing. So most of my bags have like 7 ounces of milk in them. Even these. I like that this has the easy pour thing, but that's about the only thing I like about this bag. And this bag also lays flatter in the freezer, so that's why I like this bag better. But I mean, they're both good bags, and they were gifts, so who's complaining about free gifts? I also use these to pump milk into. They hold 2.5 ounces. These are good for if I have to pump milk and just leave it in the refrigerator, not necessarily freeze it. So I pump milk and I put it in the refrigerator with these, like, in the evenings I go work out, so I might pump some milk and put it in here. That way he's not wasting milk, because he never drinks a full bottle. He'll snack. And I think it's just because he's learning. And we're using these breast flow bottles. And I'll show you guys the nipple. It has like the double nipple. And it goes in here like this. So when they suck, they have to suck like they would suck my breast. So I found that this actually really helps. He did really good on the bottle. Like, he won't drink a full bottle yet, so I'm not sure like how much he's getting at each feeding, just as far as taking him to daycare and stuff. But these bottles are great. So I like these breast flow bottles. And they hold, these are the 5 ounce ones. And these work awesome. So, what else? I also have these. My favorite, I like wearing tanks, breastfeeding tanks. They're easier to breastfeed in. And this is my favorite tank. It's from Motherhood, Maternity. It looks like this. And when you unsnap the top right here, it just exposes your whole breast. It also has pads in it, so it's padded, which is, I think is awesome. And I get lots of support with this bra. I mean, it's wonderful. And it's also like a reversible bra, so you can unsnap the back, and you can wear it as a halter top or whatever you need to wear it as. So this is my favorite breastfeeding tank. And then I also have a couple breastfeeding bras. I have this one, which is also from Motherhood, which is just like for nighttime. It really doesn't give you any support. It's just easy to get to your boobs. You just kind of pull it down like that. So I like this bra for night. These are the bras I use when I'm working out, which is also from Motherhood. It just really gives me a lot of support, and it has the racer back. Samantha Sherman, she recommended these, especially if you have bigger breasts. They give you a lot of support. And then these are my Walmart nursing bras, which actually are really comfortable because they don't have any wire or anything. So it just looks like this. And you unsnap it right here, and your boob kind of goes in this little hole. So I love these because I don't like wire in my bras. So these are a lifesaver. I'm actually wearing one of these right now. As far as breastfeeding goes, at night he gets really, really fussy, and I have no idea what to do. He'll eat, and then he'll cry, and then he'll eat, and then he'll cry, and then he'll eat, and then he'll cry, and it's just terrible. Just recently he's kind of stopped, and he's still fussy, but not as much. And I think it's the fact that he's sleeping through the night helps. So around 8 o'clock he'll go for like a 2-hour feed now, and then he'll go to sleep, and we're not having like fussy, fussy, fussy all the time. But he still does it sometimes. He just fusses and fusses, and I know he's hungry, but he won't eat. I didn't really have to use the Lennon cream that much. Like at the very beginning, my nipples were sore because he wasn't latching on right. But now I really don't need it. My nipples aren't sore. I mean, once we got through the really, I guess, hard part and my nipples weren't sore, it was great. Like, breastfeeding has been wonderful. I haven't had any problems with my milk flow, with sore nipples anymore. I did have this weird thing that was happening where my breast got numb, and they said it was when your milk came down, but it wasn't from my milk coming down. It was just like random spouts of numbness. And then it was like a pinched nerve when he would latch on sometimes. So that was weird. And then I had like a burning sensation when he would latch. But it just kind of went away. Like, so now that he's 7 weeks, everything is normal. It's nothing like out of the ordinary. Um, I'm block feeding, but I found that since one of my breasts is always kind of engorged, that I'm not block feeding as much because I have to get this one down. Like sometimes I'll let him eat and then I'll pump. And then sometimes I'll let him eat from this breast on 2 feeding and then this breast on 1 feeding. Even though I know that's like messing up the production of both the breasts, but it's always full all the time. So I don't know like what to do about it always being full. Oh, with my family, breastfeeding has been a bit awkward because no one in my family really breastfed, like my grandma or anyone. So they're kind of like, hurry up and put him on a bottle. Give him a bottle so I can watch him. And you know, breastfeeding is like my little bonding time with him. That's our time. It's something special that only I can give him. So it was kind of awkward. You know, my grandparents and not all my family, but some of my family, they were just weirded out by the breastfeeding experience, I guess. And I don't, I think it's perfectly natural. I mean, I'm kind of like not discreet when I'm in my house breastfeeding. I just kind of whip out my boob and feed him. He's hungry. He has to eat. So, I don't know. I just thought that was weird that they were funny acting about the breastfeeding. It was weird. Now that he's bigger, I don't really use the boppy to feed him with because he's too big to be on the boppy. And like when he eats, he stretches his body out really, really long and he makes himself stiff as a board. So I can't contour him or fold him the way I need him to get on the breast. So I just prop one knee up and kind of let him lean against my knee and hold him as he breastfeeds. I find that's the best way because the boppy just, it's not working at all. I've nursed in public multiple times. I've used my udder cover, but I found that the udder cover is hot under there. And I need something that's more lightweight and cooler for him because the summer's coming. And I don't want him under there like sweltering, you know, while he's breastfeeding. So I'm going to have to find something that's more lightweight or maybe I'll just make my own cover to feed him with. I found that he doesn't like shrimp fried rice. We had Chinese food and it didn't go well with his belly at all. I mean, he had diarrhea all night long. So I'm kind of filling out what kind of foods he likes and doesn't like. A lot of people say chocolate gives him gas, but we never had a problem with chocolate. Even the darker vegetables. He pretty much eats everything that I eat. Shrimp fried rice was the first thing that I noticed was just it tore up his poor little stomach. He had diarrhea for all night. So that was horrible. And that's pretty much it. Breastfeeding has really been great for me. I mean, I'm really happy that I was able to breastfeed. I'm able to save money because it's free. And pumping has been going well. And I've just had a really good breastfeeding experience. Besides the fussy nights. The fussy nights, they really got to me. He was fuss and fuss and fuss, and I didn't know what to do because I knew he was hungry, but he wouldn't eat because he was always fussy. And I knew he didn't have gas, he didn't need to burp, he was just fussy at night. And it really, I mean, I think that was the worst part of breastfeeding, and it still kind of is because it still happens. But, I mean, I feel like we'll get through it. So, that's pretty much everything about breastfeeding and how our breastfeeding journey went. He was just a wonderful breastfeeder. He meant to be. And if you're not breastfeeding, don't feel bad. It's okay if you had to give your baby formula or if you just weren't able to breastfeed. It's not a personal. You shouldn't take it personally. I mean, I know that your body may not have produced enough milk or it just didn't work out, but don't feel bad about it because everyone can't breastfeed, you know? And that's why they have like breastfeeding banks so your baby can still get the nutrition from breastfeeding. That is my breastfeeding experience, my journey. And if anybody has any questions or any advice, I love breastfeeding advice because this is my first time and I really don't have any help. You know, I don't have anyone to talk to about breastfeeding, so advice is awesome too. Thank you all for watching. Bye.